Dear life warriors, living and surviving are two different things.
I think when we're women of color in corporate spaces, it is a challenge to find our voice and authority.
I don't think people really understood like how difficult my job was.
I know how it was.
As an HR, and then trying to be that liaison between management and employees, and the reality is all I really cared about was staff. Hello, everyone. It's me, Shar, your favorite corporate life coach. And today, Dear Life Warriors is sitting down with one of my favorites, Zina Rodriguez. She is here with me all the way from Thailand. Zina is co-founder and CEO for ZND Consulting. We're going to learn all about what they do. Super, super excited about that initiative that you started. She is a mental health advocate as well as a behavioral health consultant. I am sure I'm missing some of your titles, but welcome, Zina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Shar. I'm so excited to be a part of this. And hello, I am Zina, AKA the Warrior Princess, right? So it is in my DNA through and through.
Yes. And you know what? We call the show Dear Life Warriors because I feel like I have to address all the life warriors out there in the world. So, okay, AKA. I'm super excited. So, Zina, oh my goodness, you're in Thailand right now, really late. Well, 8:30.
Not too late.
It's 9:30 for me, a.m.
8:30 p.m. for me, so not horrible.
I know.
I'm still awake, still functioning.
So far, you look great.
Thank you, love.
I haven't seen you in so long. We have a little history. We used to work together. I don't even remember the year. Is that I kind of blocked all that.
Right, we block a little bit. It was things we needed to block, but that's okay. That's part of the warrior in us, right? Yes. We survived some things.
We did. So anyway, we survived, but we came from the behavioral health space, which is important. I think that's the one thing we have in common, that we've always been trying to do something positive in the world. And one of the things that you did, and I don't know when you started ZND Consulting, I think we kind of started our entrepreneurial journey almost the same time.
We did.
Right? Was it 2018? I started in 2018.
It was 2018, September 2018. And it was right when we needed to. It was right after our experience. We needed to transition.
That's crazy. Yeah, but you know what? We both, because I know I left corporate saying, I'm not going back. I'm done.
Right.
Did you feel the same way? Did it automatically happen for you when you left?
It did. And I did it and I left. It was, I think there was just a place of finding my authenticity and finding my own voice. I can't not say this. I think when we're women of color in corporate spaces, it is a challenge to find our voice and authority. It's just real. And I can only be as real as I am because I just turned 50. So I don't care no more.
Listen. Okay, you turned 50. We got to touch on that. Oh my God.
But I think this goes kind of, with the discussion. I think I cannot not say this and have this type of discussion with you without bringing this to the table in light of everything where the world is and what we're trying to recognize. I know throughout, and we have a similar journey, even, we grew up in New York City, urban environment. There's a resilience that you have to thrive in those environments.
Yes.
We were young mothers raising our children while trying to really create our space in the corporate world, right? We just did that. In doing that, I know in my younger years, I put on a lot of masks to make myself fit in.
Oh my goodness. I was about to say, when you were saying what you were saying, that I almost felt like while we were creating the space, we were still kind of silent because we still had to navigate that world and not shine too much because it was never accepted or acceptable or well received.
Right. There's a lot of stereotypes that go with that, right? And so I know I played it small the majority of my career. And I think my last corporate experience really was a great learning lesson of finding my own voice. Like I just didn't have it. And And I've made the mistake, you keep learning and evolving, but the need to really grow into entrepreneurship was born from that. It's like, I have gone into many companies and have been successful in helping them become successful.
Yes.
I could do this for myself.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, enough is enough. I am literally giving my all to someone else for them
Right.
to be great and for them to not appreciate or even understand what you do, right? So that was exactly my mindset. I was like, I'm gonna just do this for myself. Why work so hard for somebody else?
Yeah. So that was the birth of me for entrepreneurship. And it's not an easy path. No. It's not my comfort level. I've really had to push myself out of it. And in that process, so 2018, I launched it. I got a really big contract with the company that worked out really well. I was with them for a year, which kind of brought me here to Thailand because I consulted with this company here. They were pursuing me to come relocate here. And I'm like, I can't do that. I have a family back home. And I finally made the decision end of the last quarter of 2019.
Wow.
And moved January 20th, right? Because I said,
2020, January
2020, I'm really intentional about my words, and I really kind of get vision boardish about, I'm like, 2020, I'm going in fearlessly. And if you look at my social media posts from back then, it was like, I'm claiming fearless. I'm going in. I don't know what I'm going into. I'm going to a different country. It's out of my comfort zone. I kind of know the environment I'm going into. Not sure if it's right, but I'm going to do it anyway because there was just this real spiritual calling to be there.
Wow.
Who the hell knew that 3 months into it, the pandemic was going to hit. I was working for a company who depends on international travel.
Oh, geez.
And it was going to collapse. Oh, yeah. So in this process of making this really big, fearless leap of faith, everything came tumbling down in a sense. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Lost that opportunity, lost income, lost everything, and have been here throughout, which, look, life does that. But gosh, one thing I want to say with all that to all our young females, especially out there, make sure you build a nest egg when you can. Yeah. Don't be worrying about the Gucci bags. Don't be worrying about the Prada. When you start making some money, and even when you're not making a lot, start building your nest fund. I came here very intentional. Yeah. I came here with a backup plan. I was ready. So, I'm making, I have no problem saying this. I went from making really amazing money to what I made when I was 18 years old in my first corporate job.
Hello.
And
we have the same story, Zina.
I have no shame in that.
It's like, where's my money?
Yes. But what it was for me, I was prepared for it. And it gave me the space to slow down when everything collapsed and to realign. So 2020, and it started the end of the quarter, was I need to align with my passion and purpose in life. I'm going into 50. What do I want to do for the next half?
Yes.
I have spent the first half raising my children, taking care of my family, taking care of other people's businesses. Where's Zina in this process?
Right. Right.
So really, this year has been about that. And so many opportunities are coming my way. I am flooded. I'm not even ready for it. I've got to build scale into the business.
You are ready. That's why it's coming. Hello.
Thank you, doll. Thank you, doll. Yeah.
2020 for me, that's what I said was a year of preparation. I got in that now 2021 hits. I feel what you're feeling. Things are coming. And you know why? Because we put in the time, the energy, and the effort in 2020. We focus. You are ready. Period.
Yes. Thank you for that reframe.
Yeah, it's not going to come.
This is why you're the life coach.
Because it's so quick for us to be like, oh my goodness, no, you are ready. You're ready. Or else the opportunities will not be knocking at your door. And then it's also, you got to still weed out. So when you have your purpose, this is why coming into 50, I know must be beautiful, because you don't have a problem. I'm speaking for you now because that's how I feel. You don't have a problem saying, I don't think I want to do that.
Yes.
No, thank you. But thank you. We're no longer desperate. We went from, like you said, that big corporate salary to that 18. So I'm like, hey, I survived on nothing.
Yes.
I'm not desperate anymore.
No.
So I am excited for you. Like, you're like, just, it's a different Zina. I feel like I'm talking to someone that I never met before.
You haven't, because you were with me. I was going through some things, and it was a lot about wearing a mask, right? I was in a very successful, high, powerful position on paper, but I wasn't living up to that. And and I wasn't claiming it. Right. I was letting other people have a voice for me instead of claiming it. And I think it was towards the end that, I started kind of saying, look, I need to find my voice here. But it comes from that place of insecurity. It comes from a place of, for women of color, I feel it's that imposter syndrome. They already don't think I belong here, so maybe I really don't belong here. So you really start to play that out. And I did. And it was hard. It was a hard lesson to learn, but I'm grateful for it. And if I can share that with any women that are out there struggling, because I know I talk to a lot of them are my friends, my colleagues, and my family. We have it within us. Like, it's just not playing it small. Find your voice. I let other people define me because I felt like I had to fit the role that they wanted me to fit in.
Right.
I just can't do that anymore. I can't do that. I know what I bring. I know the level of experience I have. My life experiences alone. Forget, I've educated myself, and I've educated myself well while raising a family. So I didn't have a college fund. I couldn't just go off to university and just party and do my thing while getting my education. I was raising my children in a parallel process and trying to put food on the table. I know how to make things happen. I lost that somewhere in the process.
Right.
And I let people define me as, oh, you're not leadership quality. I mean, literally, those were words that was said. And I'm like, leadership quality? I've been leading my whole life, a family and everything else. Like,
because it starts from home. Hello. If you can manage your household, I know for me as a single mom, just even, navigating from school, no one was there to drop my kids off to school. I did it. No one was there to pick them up. I did it. Get to work, make you great, left. Do it all over again, day after day, and then still be, successful while doing it. You manage your house, you can manage your career, period. Like,
absolutely.
So I've been leading, and I led my first daughter through college. The second one is about to finish high school. So don't tell me I'm not leadership quality. If you can lead some kids somewhere.
Yeah. But, I think we, some of it is childhood stuff for me personally. So it's like not having a sense of like your own identity and ownership of self.
Yeah.
And it's something that came from me later on, but I had to really look back and spend some time just looking at the trajectory of my
life,
professional and personal life. And the beauty of it, that's why I love this. My theme, my goal, my vision for this year was alignment with passion and purpose.
Yes.
Because everything about my life is just coming into complete alignment with what my purpose is to be here on this earth. And it resonates in my soul. My hair stand as I'm talking about it.
Mine too, for you. Because I feel what you're saying, just because I know you before and now I'm hearing you now. And it's just like, wow, it's a beautiful place to be, right? Where I wish that for everybody. I'm like,
I do.
If you could only understand how I feel every morning, I can't begin to tell you, like, when my eyes pop open, I am so grateful already. And then I'm excited about the day because I know each day brings something new to my life. And I'm just excited. And then knowing all your circumstance, just because you got through what you got through, right? There's nothing too difficult anymore. That's how I feel. Nothing. I'm like, man, I made it, mind you, we went back to our little salary, right? With the same big bills. So don't forget that part.
Right.
The bills didn't change. You already had the house. You already had the car. You already, you had it. That didn't go away.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
and I was kind of forced to like just living abroad, you downsize like naturally, right? So you live like this more minimalist lifestyle, but I still live well. Like I'm not missing anything. I'm still enjoying life. You know, I think we get caught up in the trappings when we do get the title and we're chasing it. I chased it. I wanted titles. I wanted that.
Because we felt, me too. I wanted titles in an office.
Right. Yes, you got it. Yeah, right. We made it. And it was like, okay, we made it. For me, it wasn't appreciated on the levels that I needed it to be because I didn't need them to appreciate it. I needed to appreciate it. So now it's like, okay, back to like, I can do this for myself. I can have this C-suite CEO co-founder title because it's mine. It's just a whole different place. And just back to that level of, I think what happens is there's this real authenticity that kicks in. I'm not wearing a mask anymore. I am myself. I am free. I am not defined by money. I am not defined by someone else's view of what they think I should be. I'm defined by me. And I wake up, and it's funny because the last few months, like I've been in this groove, and people I'm talking to are like, you're like glowing and you're happy. And because I'm just being me, probably as authentic as I ever have been. And really intentional. I'm really intentional about who I want to work with, who's in my circle, and like opportunities are coming, like we were saying, but I have the ability to go, is that the right fit for me? I used to jump at everything because it's like I couldn't turn anything down.
Yes.
Not anymore.
I agree. I know that feeling because you just feel like, oh my goodness, I need the money. So I'm but the reality is you kind of set yourself up for failure because if you're not passionate about it, it feels like work.
For real.
And
absolutely.
Right now, nothing feels like work to me anymore. I am excited to be doing what I'm doing every single day. Like I am just happy in my space.
This is definitely your calling because, having gone through some things with you, that's what you always were. You were the vice president of HR for us, right? Big title, big weight, big responsibility. But what I always remember about you is you were our number one cheerleader.
I tried.
Like, you were the most motivating. When you would come down to the facility, everyone was excited. Oh, she's coming. Oh, great. Everybody, because you made it fun. You made people feel welcome. It's not like the people were nervous about, the VP of HR is coming.
Right.
We got to be on our best behavior. People were excited to see you because you were so personable. You cared about them. And when you came through the door, you were about, hey, how you doing? What's going on here? What can we do? Is everything going okay? Can I bring you some fish? I love that. Inside. But that was
I know. You're going to make me cry because, that time, I don't think people really understood like how difficult my job was.
I know how it was.
As an HR, and then trying to be that liaison between management and employees. And the reality is all I really cared about was the staff at the end of the day. And still trying to find that medium, I would be fighting for things that people don't even know. And then I would still have to come back and give the bad news. So for me, I was struggling with my own self in terms of, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore because I had to disappoint a few people without telling them where the disappointment's coming from. So I had to eat that. Yeah. I had to take, that as if it was my decision. So I'm so happy for you to tell me that because I don't know if I felt that when I came to the facilities that people were happy to see me. So that's why it brought tears to my eyes to just get that confirmation because I worry about, people all the time. I want to make sure I'm making the best decisions for them. And that's why I try to turn my organizations into a coaching organization. That's always been my big thing. I'm like, we need to be coaches to our employees and not just be so quick to dismiss and figure, let's help them get to the best place they could possibly get in their careers. So
that's why I think this fits you so well. And Char, you definitely were that for people. And I think that skill set that you had it doesn't fit in a corporate environment. Because of that, you have to make decisions that sometimes aren't yours. You know, as the ED, I was in the same boat. And, you know, people, it was painful, you know, to have to say some things to folks and make decisions that, and I was the enemy, but people didn't know it came from above me.
Right.
And because we have to, you know, we're in, you know, this leadership position, we can't say, it's really not me.
Me, exactly. As much as we want to.
As much as we want to protect ourselves, this is where the professionalism that we have comes in. You know, but what we do and what I honor about what I know I did with the people, whether they know it or not, I held a lot of space for people, right? The behind the scenes things that we do, you know, I held it for them, whether they knew it or not. And then whenever I was with them, I really tried to have grace for them in whatever role they were in and whatever delivery I had to do. And I think that's the uniqueness, probably born out of a lot of our own personal experiences, that the benefit that the corporate world had of us in those spaces for the people. And I'm a people person. It's why I became a social worker to begin with, you know, and I transitioned my career. So here we take those lessons we have in the corporate world and we try to be really authentic with people and genuine with people in a way that aligns with our souls. Honestly,
absolutely. Like that's all it is.
Way. If I can, it's alignment. And if I can see you and you can see me and I can help you with something and we're on this really authentic journey together, then that's what it's supposed to be. What I've also learned in that process is not everybody's ready for that. And I respect that. So it's like setting really healthy boundaries. But if you're not ready for that and you kind of are on your own journey, I got to let you have your space because I'm on this path. But if you want to come on this one with me, you know, we're good. So.
No, I mean, you know, life has been really beautiful. And I definitely am grateful for all my corporate experience from the start, just having that, because I'm able to run a business because of all those experiences. And now too, I also know how I want to run it and how I want to treat people when I hire people to work for me. It's going to be different and it's going to be great. And that's all
it is already.
Yeah,
it is. Reframe. It is.
No,
it is. I mean, I just follow you. You know, I follow you on your Instagram, your LinkedIn. I mean, you are so motivating. Like,
because I'm happy.
You can see it comes through.
I'm really happy. And that's why I want to bring a lot of, you know, people that I know, colleagues, friends, past, current clients with me, because I'm just like, wow, so many people doing some great things and nobody knows. So with that being said, tell us about ZND Consulting. What is it that you do there and how, you know, people, why should we call you? What can we call you for? Sure.
I became so intentional. There was a time after working in behavioral health for 13 years, right? I've been working this is my 14th year. I used to work in corporate marketing, like true corporate marketing, not behavioral health care. And 9/11 was my like aha moment, that after 9/11 and how I watched the corporation treat its personnel who I didn't have the language for yet, but were suffering from PTSD because we were in New York City and we collectively went through this massive trauma. Lots of people were suffering and our corporate was horrible at the way they handled it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the first time that I was like, this is not the work I want to be doing. So I started looking at going back to school. I didn't have my degrees yet. I was really lucky. I was blessed. I worked for a company for 15 years, worked my way up to management, but it wasn't work. I just got lucky and I worked hard. Not true. I worked hard. So I earned that spot, but it wasn't the work that like filled my soul. So I decided to go back to school and become a social worker. I always knew I didn't want to do direct practice work. I wanted to work on a more macro administrative level. Mm-hmm. So it worked out for me along the ways that I was able to do that very quickly in my career. I worked in marketing and business development roles. But what I loved about behavioral health care, and I didn't know it at the time, it really matched my whole life journey. So, you know, I grew up in the inner city. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I have an uncle that died of a heroin overdose. I have another one that, you know, also died after years and years of being on methadone. And I didn't even know that, like, as I went into this work, it came out as you do your clinical supervision. And over the years, I've really developed this passion for mental health and behavioral health, and especially working in the places I have, and realizing this touches everyone, right? Mental health, and now we know this. The pandemic hit, and everybody now really knows mental health and mental wellness, how critical it is. There's always been a stigma. The good, positive thing about the pandemic is people realize the importance of good mental health and wellness care. I almost wanted to leave this space after the experiences I had in corporate. When I kind of went through what I went through in the year of 2018, it's like, no, this was like a life purpose thing. This has been my own personal family story, my own personal journey. Mental health, addiction treatment has been a part of my life since birth. So how can I stay in this space? Because I know from my community in general, right? I'm Black, Latina. These conversations didn't happen. I was working in private behavioral health care, treating mostly a homogenous community, mostly white clients. The clients I saw and them getting the healing that they were receiving didn't exist for my community. Wow. So I wanted to stay in the space because I want to create that. I think we're getting better at it. I think this 2020 really kind of put a highlight overall of disparity of healthcare for communities of color and where the services are lacking. And I know from working in private behavioral health, we have not been intentional in creating healing spaces for people of color. I had started ZND Consulting just to be a marketing, branding, helping people operationalize treatment centers, get licensed, get accredited. 2020 really brought about the need of expanding the diversity, equity, and inclusion piece. Yes. And that, that's it's becoming a very kind of used term, a little burnt out. What that means to me personally is the space, is the residential site, is the clinician office, is the outpatient office, is it inviting and welcoming and intentional for all people, especially people of color? Yeah. Am I going to see myself? Am I going to see a representation of myself? Are you going to understand the issues that may not be apparent to you that I may be coming in with? Yeah. Racial trauma, intergenerational trauma. Can you address that in those spaces? Yes. And are we intentionally marketing to that community? They're there. The need is there. Are we really, I was mostly in marketing spaces and behavioral health care. I know I never worked on strategic plans, with the exception of one facility, but we approached it wrong, to a community of color, of embracing them and saying, we're here for you. Yeah. And where it went wrong when we did launch a Spanish-speaking program was we really weren't listening to the community needs. Yeah. It went in with the lens of a corporate lens of, there's an opportunity there. We can market to those people. They need our services, but we didn't include them in the conversation. Right. So that's ZND Consulting. It's about really being intentional about creating spaces where people feel like they belong. I want to go on a website, right? And like one of the treatment centers, if I have a friend or family member that needs treatment, that's a person of color, they can go on that website and they can feel like, okay, this is welcoming to me. If you go on 90-something% of those websites, you're not going to see one representation of color on there. Right. Right. So that's what ZND Consulting is. So I really do behavioral health consulting on operational levels, marketing, business development, but through the lens of inclusion and intentional inclusion. Woo. That's who I am.
I love that. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so successful. It's going to blow through the roof. I see you coming back to this side of the world on many different levels, doing many things. So I know it's going to be a global scale ZND Consulting because it's so needed. And you are right. We don't see people of color running this type of a business. So, and I love the part where you say, include the community. Let's find out from them, because one of the things, I think the biggest misconception, especially when it came to me, people met me where I was, not understanding I'm a little girl from Brooklyn that was raised by a Caribbean mom from Jamaica who I watched clean toilets to make a living. That's who you're talking to. You're not
Right.
talking to this VP of HR. So that's like the biggest misconception. So let's get back to the heart of who and the core of who people really are and their needs and what they really need, because I've gone through my own experiences. And I think that don't speak to me as a vice president, because that's not who I really am. That's really and truly just a title.
Right.
So I think, oh my God, this has been great. I don't want to end the conversation, but I have to, because we could talk forever.
You know I can.
I know you can, but we're going to have to do a follow-up, come back. We're going to keep this conversation going, because I think it's so important. And now that we found our voices and we don't really care what people have to say or think anymore, and you're a fabulous 50, I can't tell. I'm turning 44 in 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to that, but I just know 50.
We're grown women now.
Yes. We really are, but you really do not look a day close to 50. So I don't know, whatever
Thank
you're
you,
doing,
doll.
keep it up, whatever you're doing. And now I know I have a friend in Thailand, so when I'm ready, I'll let you know when I'm coming.
Awesome.
So, all right, Zina, we will catch up another time. Keep up the fabulous work. And I can't wait to just see all the wonderful things that just come from ZND Consulting. I will be watching. I'll be rooting for you. I'll be sharing. I'll be liking. Anyone I could refer your services to, I would absolutely be referring it. So go, Zina.
Thank you. Go, Shar. You're a cheerleader. I told you. That's who you were. You would actually come into the facility like that sometimes. Like,
I know.
How you doing?
I can't help it. I go to my mom's house, and when I go to my mommy, she's like, shh.
That's who you were. That's so beautiful. And look, thank you for creating this space. This is important. This is important conversations. You are a perfect person to do this. This is like, coach the world, girl.
Coach the world. And my journal is on that side. My journal is coming out soon. I decided to create my 30 days to a new you, the method that I use to coach people to fix their mindset. And I've been using it for 2 years. I've decided to bottle it up and put it out to the world. So that's coming out next month.
Love it.
Yeah, it's 30 days to really transform your mind. I'm not saying you're going to be 100% transformed, but you will never be the same, because what I'm doing with this method, intentional journaling, is not just write your feelings. It's a morning, an afternoon, an evening, and a night routine that you go through.
Love it.
And after 30 days, I kid you not, people are like, what happened? So now you see the reframe that I tell you, they automatically know how to reframe.
Ooh, I'm getting it, sharing it, giving it out. Yeah. Can't wait.
No, it's a game changer. All my clients have been like, they came out successful because of it. No matter what they came to me for, I was like, you're going to do this 30 days, but I never had it in a book. I used to just say, get a journal, and then I tell them the steps. So now in 2020, one of my clients went, it would be great if you just had a journal. And I was like, you're right.
Awesome. See, we learn. That's the other gift. You learn from each other. And if you don't always come with that hierarchical thing, your clients are teaching you too along the way. It's just a beautiful thing.
They're like, get a journal. I was like, I could do that. Yes, I'm going to do just that. Because then now
I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited too, because then now I feel like I could touch more people. I'm going to create a community just to help them through this process, this book, anybody that buys it, and give more life-changing tips to help them get through whatever it is that they're going through any day, any moment, any given time, because that's what it is. Support.
Awesome. I'm all in. I'm ready.
All right.
I'm lined up.
All right.
Pre-ordering.
Yes. We will catch up, and I will see you soon. Bye, Zina.
Take care.